All right, let's change the oil on my Ford F-150. Pop the hood. Check the oil level before you start. See if it's burnt oil or you're leaking oil. That's a good way to tell if it's low. You may have an oiling issue. And then we'll pop off the oil fill cap right over here. Take that, set it in a safe place, you don't forget. Take a drain pan and get it centered underneath of the drain plug. Alright, if you got an FX4, they have these skid plates under here. What happens is when you pull the drain plug and as it runs out, the oil will actually drip down into the skid plate. So when I was a Ford tech, I bought this flexible funnel and it works great to stick it up under here and you can form it to run down into the drain pan and you won't make a mess up there on the skid plate. So it's less cleanup you have to do. I think I got this off Tool Truck or Amazon or something like that. Just a flexible funnel. Little tech tip for you, but like I said, it works well with skid plates. Just take that, form it up there like that. Get a little curve to it. There we go. And then grab your 15 millimeter right here and pull the drain plug out. Get it until you feel like there's no more threads left, like it's right there. Just pull it out real quick. And then set that to the side and let it drain. And that's what I'm talking about, how the funnel helps it run down to the drain pan, not up there onto the skid plate. Makes cleanup a lot easier, especially if you have the skid plate. And go ahead and inspect the underside of your vehicle while you're down here. Is the perfect time to do it. Check for leaks, anything broken, worn components. And then when that gets to dripping like that, that's a perfect time to reinstall your drain plug. I'm going to install it. I'm going to torque it down to 20 foot-pounds. Some brake cleaner. Got a real t-shirt. Mint. And then right up front is the oil filter. Now, this one, righty tighty, lefty loosey, pretty simple. We'll just go ahead and pull it off. But on these Fords, you got this fancy drip tray here, okay? Well, that's false advertisement. It ain't gonna run down the front there. Okay? It's gonna come out the back here, right in this hole. So what you need to do is crack the oil filter loose, back it off till it starts dripping out the bottom here, and let it drip for a couple minutes so you can get a majority of the oil out so it does go down here. Now when you pull the oil filter out, yes, oil will come down the front here, but it's a two-way system. Just a little tech tip for you. So we're gonna go ahead and get this one off. And there it drains. And I'm just gonna let that roll for a few minutes. Let a majority of the oil from the oil filter and whatever's in the front here drain down. Recommend doing this because it's less of a mess you'll have to clean up later. And while your oil filter is draining out, you can come up here and lube the gasket on the oil filter. You just need a little dab. Take that, get it lubed up. So when you remove it next, it won't stick on there and you won't get the double O-ring effect. Because when you pull the oil filter off, you got to make sure that this gasket comes off with the oil filter. So, all right, so here's the time is where you pull out the missing Tupperware container, because I recommend getting a second one. So you grab the missing Tupperware container, so you get your oil coming out the front here, so it doesn't get off your floor. But also a drain pan is actually what I recommend, so this might come in handy. If you got one, just make do with it. I just happen to have two. Makes it a little bit easier. So I'm gonna pull that oil filter off, look up in there and make sure the gasket isn't stuck to the oil filter cooler housing, and we'll go from there. Right there is where the oil filter mounts to. You see that big puddle of oil under there? Yeah. We're gonna have to get in there and clean that up. But see how there's no gasket on there? I pull it off. I made sure it was on the other oil filter. So we're gonna clean that up and install the new oil filter. All right, so I've lubed up my gasket, got my oil filter. This just hand tight. You go 3/4 turn from contact to full turn. No more than that. 3/4 is just fine. So what you can do is you can actually draw a line on your oil filter, so when you get up there you can look at it, so you make sure you don't over tighten it and crush your gasket and have it be a pain to get off next. Or this oil filter has numbers on it. You can look at it, okay, see which way it's angled, and then twist it on that way. But yeah, just don't over tighten it. Just snug is all you need. So I'm gonna get up under there and install this oil filter. All right, I have my new oil filter installed. So I'm gonna clean up one last time under here and go up top and fill up the oil. Let's add 7.76 quarts of oil. Little tip also, when you're pouring quarts of oil, pour it this way. And it won't glug as much on you. It'll pour easier. And that's how these bottles are actually designed to be poured. So, here we go. All right, fill up the oil. Now let's go inside, reset the oil light, and do flood mode, and then come back out, check for oil leaks, and check the oil level. All right, let's reset the oil light. %. Okay, now hold the gas pedal all the way to the floor, and let's flood mode, prime the engine oil. For 5 seconds. See? Build. Alright, we're good on the leaks, nothing leaking. I go by a trip meter on my vehicles to record the miles on the oil change. This one went 4,200 miles. So now I'm going to reset it. There you go. Alright, so that wraps this up. Check your oil. Make sure it's at the correct level. This 2012 F-150 takes 7.76 quarts of oil. This is a pretty simple how-to. You don't have to follow it. Also, this video is just a basic for oil changes in general. You can look at this, okay, drain plug, oil filter, got it. Now just look up, what viscosity your engine takes for oil, and get the correct oil filter, go to a hardware store, and you're good. So I hope this video helped. Hope it saved you a buck. You guys have a good day. Thank you.